Perfect. Welcome in, everybody. We still have people that are joining in. So as they come in, we will allow them into the Zoom room. But I want to jump right into this tonight, this webinar that we are having. I'm ecstatic. I don't know about you. If you are, put it over in the chat. I'm excited. I'm ecstatic. I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to hear, because that's exactly what we're getting ready to do tonight or today. We're actually going to be giving you some information that I hope is going to be super valuable for you. Uh, Today, you are here for a reason. So before we go into why you are here, let me just congratulate you on making it here. You made it to the Ox and Free webinar. And let me tell you, this is more than just a training today. This is a moment. I want you to take that in, really take that in. This is a moment. And my name is Kenyon R. Dudley. For those of you guys who do not know me, I'm here today to help you do one powerful thing. I want you to put it in the chat. I'm here to help you unlock your voice. Put that in the chat. We're going to unlock our voice today. That's what we're going to do. We're going to unlock our voice. We're going to unlock our voice. And we're going to talk about how that looks, what that means exactly. We're going to talk about how you can actually get that done. But the number one rule in this webinar today is that you stay engaged. Put it over in the chat. Unlock our voice. That is the reason that we are here. And I'm super excited about what you're getting ready to experience. All right, so let's just keep it real for a second. You are not here by accident. Now, for some of you, you already know that, but there are some that's in this room right now that needed to hear that encouragement. You needed to be reminded that you are not in this moment. You are not in this webinar. You are not in this Zoom room by accident. As a matter of fact, I believe that God has orchestrated it for you to be right here in this moment. How many of you believe that? Just by a show of hands, I can see some of you guys on screen, so I'm gonna be talking to y'all. All right. By a show of hands, you know that you're supposed to be here. All right. You're not second guessing. You're not trying to figure things out. You're not trying to feel it out. You know, without a shadow of a doubt, that you are supposed to be in this moment to grab this information so that you can level up to the next thing. You're here because deep down inside, you know your voice carries value. For some of you guys, you are here because, quite frankly, you're just tired of watching other people get booked and paid while you sit on all of this knowledge and all of this wisdom and all of this gold that God has placed on the inside of you, all this experience that you have in corporate, that you have in ministry, or whatever industry you represent. And guess what? You are not getting paid for the opportunities that you're taking on as far as a speaker is concerned. Some of you guys are sick and tired of doing free events. If you're sick and tired of doing free events and you're trying to figure out how in the world do I get to this next level and get paid doing what I love, just put a thumbs up in the chat. I want to make sure that I'm right here in the right road. Jay says, I'm very tired. As a matter of fact, I'm sick and tired. Anybody else? Lisa Schaefer, welcome in. She says thumbs up. Charlene Smith, good to see you, Charlene. She says thumbs up. Shanta Crockett, she says she is tired. I know, because I have been there as well. That's one of the reasons why we're having this little meeting right here, because we got to get you ready for the next level. Chanel says, listen, we tired. Exactly. And some of you guys, if we're just being real, you are here today because you're ready to speak with boldness. You're ready to walk in authority. and you're ready to get paid while you are doing what you love. And so today, I hope that some of the information, if not all the information that I share, is going to be super valuable to you. I believe in serving, and so that's what I'm doing this day. I'm actually going to be serving all of you guys as public speakers, and hopefully you can find at least one thing that's going to take you to that next level. So real quick, drop in the chat, what made you register for tonight's session? What do you hope to get out of tonight's session? Let's go ahead and light up the chat for me a little bit with that. I tell you what, there are three type of people that are in this room. Now, you fit in one or more of these categories. You fit in one or more of these categories. And this is what I want you to do. Type speaker if you know it is time to stop shrinking. Come on. You know it. You know it. You know it's time for you to step up. You know it's time for you to come up. You know it's time for you to stop shrinking back and allowing other people to mount the stages that God has called your voice to. Put speaker in the chat. There you go. Dr. CC, so good to see you in. Thank you. Who else do I see in here? Dr. Harper, good to see you in. Thank you so much. All right, listen. Type paid, P-A-I-D, in the chat if you're done giving away your brilliance for free. I just need to make sure. Come on. There we go. Nicole D. Shepherd, she says paid. Dr. CC, she says paid. That means she's really ready. She's really ready. All right, okay. There's a third person in here. Here we go. Diane, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Chanel, thank you for being here. Listen, third person that I'm talking to this evening, I want you to put I'm ready in the chat if you're fired up and you're focused tonight. You are going to do whatever it takes after tonight to get to that next level that God has ordained for you. Put I'm ready. Put I'm ready. Now, what am I doing? I'm qualifying my audience because I got to make sure that you're not wasting your time and I'm not wasting mine. I don't believe in wasting time, nor do I believe in wasting money. And I surely don't believe in wasting anyone else's time. I want to make sure that I'm in the right room and that you're with the right person that's speaking on tonight. All right, so here's what we're going to be diving into. I'm going to give a brief overview, then I'm going to pull up my presentation here so that you can see some lovely things on the screen as I begin to train and teach and pour. And then we will bring this to a close, maybe about 30, 35 minutes, and then we're going to bring this to a close. All right, make sure you're taking notes. Make sure you're writing things down. Don't just zone out. Come on. It's easy to zone out when you are in these type of webinars, but I want you to lock in because I want you to get everything that you are spending your time this evening to get. We're going to be covering first thing that we're going to be covering is the 2 keys to unlocking your voice so you can own the stage and go find the right stage that is for you. Next thing we're going to be covering is the top 5 proven speaker techniques that I teach, that the highest paid speakers that you may know in the world use to command attention and connect with their audiences and get invited back time and time again. We're also going to be going over 5 strategic ways to start landing paid speaking gigs this year. You heard me. I said this year. Somebody shouted out this year. As a matter of fact, somebody put it in the chat for me. This year, we're going to level up this year. We're not going to wait to 2026. We're not going to wait to 2027 until all things look right in my life. We're done with the procrastination. We're going to jump into it this year. We're also going to be talking about and giving away an opportunity for you guys to be able to train like a pro and step into that next level with confidence and coaching and community. So I want you to please stick around because I have a lot to cover, not a lot of time to cover it. So we're going to be moving fast. Please stay engaged, take your notes, stay in the chat, because by the end of this webinar, guys, you are going to see exactly what is possible for you and what's been holding you back time and time again. All right. If you're ready, go ahead and put in the chat, I'm ready, as I pull up my presentation here. I want to make sure that you guys see it on the screen. Let's see. Let me know if you can see on the screen. Let's open up our chat here so we can see what you guys are saying. How about that? Okay. All right. I see the readies. I see all of those. Okay, great. You're here at the How to Unlock Your Voice Now. Now, let me just tell you a little bit about who I am. For some of you, you know me, you've worked with me, and you're currently working with me, some of you guys, and others, you don't know me from a can of paint. That's what they used to say back home down in the country from where I'm from. And so, just a little bit about my story. I actually started speaking on public stages at 10 years old. Yes, I did. 10 years old, I had the beautiful opportunity to mount the platform at a church down in the country woods of Georgia, and I preached my first sermon. And after that, I was using my teenage years to grow in my public speaking stature, going here and there to different conferences and different services and events. And I had an opportunity to grow my voice and to expand in the area of public speaking. Fast forward, got over into my 20s, and by the time I was 28, I was an executive at Grady Hospital. So that's why my story is called From Grady to Global. Many of you don't know who Grady is or what Grady is, but if you're from Atlanta, Georgia, it is the #1 city hospital in the Atlanta, Georgia area. Shout out to Atlanta. If you're from Atlanta, just drop ATL in the chat. Let me see if I got some ATL people in the chat. There we go. All right. And as a matter of fact, I won't leave anybody else out. Okay. Where are you from? Real quick, just go ahead and drop it in the chat. Give me your city. I want to shout you out really quick. All right, I see VA. I see a whole lot of ATLs. Detroit. Okay, shout out to you guys. Are we all over the place? West Covina, Southern California. Love you guys. Thank you so much. So Grady Memorial Hospital is one of the #1 hospitals and city hospitals in Atlanta, Georgia. By the age of 28, I was an executive. I was actually over a department in the revenue cycle division. And I had at its peak, before I left my position, I had about 105 FTE or full-time employees reporting up to me. I also had 5 supervisors that were reporting up to me as well. So I was over a pretty large demographic and division there at the hospital. That is until I walked away from my 6-figure income at 33. Yep, I walked away from it. I spent about 5 years in that position, but I knew that there was something more. What you're seeing on the screen right now is the hospital that I worked at. And then next to that, you're seeing me and my wife, we were able to acquire a beautiful home there in South Georgia. But then, God called me to the next level. Somebody put next level. Put it in the chat. God called me to the next level. I actually left my job and God said, move to Dallas, Texas. I'm going to take you to the next level. And by the time I got to Dallas, Texas, let me just tell you, we had given away so many things. We had changed our entire life around. And then we walked into the unknown. Anybody other than me has ever walked into the unknown? Maybe you're in the midst of your unknown right now. Now, I'm going through this because it's real, especially as a public speaker. When you know that there is something down on the inside of you, Chanel, come on. She says, right now. When you know that there is something down on the inside of you that God wants to use, when you know that you have a voice that God wants to use on stages, don't you know it will not allow you to rest until you actually walk it out the way that he intended for you to walk it out. So you can go and hide in corporate. You can go hide at a high 6-figure earning job. You can go and hide in a church. You can go and hide wherever it is that you're hiding, but you will get no rest. That's right, Jay, until that thing that's in you comes out. And until you learn how to find the right stages to present what it is that God has given you. So now that I've moved to Dallas, Texas, let me tell you, God has blown my mind as I obeyed him. That little small act of obedience has brought us into several areas of influence, my wife and I. It has increased our businesses. And let me just tell you, six figures, well, we thank God for more and more of what he has given us. I am now a global speaker and a communications coach. You'll learn a little bit more about all of the places that I've had an opportunity to speak, but Kenya is one. International speaking has been a thing for me. I've had an opportunity to speak for conferences in London. I am so excited about what God is doing in my life, and I want him to be able to do it in your life. Now, listen, I was in a role that paid well. I had great influence, but I was getting sick. I was getting so sick in my body because I wasn't in the right place. There was more for me. God wanted to use my voice on a global stage, and I was stuck in the hospital working behind a desk. Here's my quote: "What's a dollar if it costs you your health and your mind?" Put it in the chat. Is there something that you need to let go of right now in order to ascend to the next level of God using your voice? Put it in the chat, yes or no. Is there something that you need to let go? Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's not a job for you. Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's the naysayers. Come on. Maybe it's your own internal voice. It's time to let go of that now and ascend. I am so glad because I dared to step out on faith and unlock my voice at a greater level and do the work, learning how to find my stages and my people. I'm now actually getting ready to speak at the UN building, at the UN New York headquarters next year, February of 2026. I've been able to speak at various different companies and corporate events. I've been able to speak at multiple different ministry events. God has expanded my voice, and I need somebody to put it in the chat. Me next. Me next. All because I did the work. And I am going to show you some of the things that I did to get myself ready for the next, So if you're ready to unlock your voice, come on, put it in the chat. Me next, me next. There you go. Alejandro, me next. I love that. Charlene, me next. Good. Okay, let's jump into the information. Here it is. You're ready for your notes. I hope you're ready to write things down. Let's talk about, first of all, 2 keys to unlocking your voice. Number 1, you've got to learn how to own the stage. You've got to learn how to own the stage. We're going to talk about 5 professional speaker techniques that's going to help you own and master the stage so well that when you do get up on the stage, people are going to be not only mesmerized, you're not going to only become an irresistible speaker, but guess what? They're going to want to bring you back time and time again, and they're going to want to share you with other corporations, other places. Key number 2, in order to unlock your voice, you've got to learn how to go find your stage. Some of you guys are in that position right now. You're trying to figure out, okay, where do I go to find my next paying opportunity, my next stage? Where do I go to make this thing work for me so that I can have a speaker business that's really paying off? We're going to talk about 5 strategies to start landing paid speaking gigs. Number 1, put this in your notes. Number 1, put this in your notes. We're talking about the top 5 speaking techniques. There are a lot of them that I could go over, but I chose just 5 to go over today. These are the things that's going to get you ready. The signature story formula. What is the signature story formula? Are you using that in your speeches? Are you using that when you are delivering your keynotes? When you have these opportunities, whether they're paid or free, do you have a signature story that you have crafted together uh, to be able to tell in a very powerful, emotionally resonant way, a comeback story, a aha moment, like Oprah would say, a breakthrough transformation? Many of you guys just heard some of my story. A part of my signature story is the breakthrough transformation that God afforded me when I left my corporate position and my corporate leadership position at Grady Hospital. Signature story. Put that in the chat for me, somebody. Signature story formula. I've got to have a story that is compelling. And if my story is not compelling, if my story does not resonate with others, you can bet your bottom dollar that it's going to be very hard to continue to find stages that will invite you on them. Why? Because people come to the event, yes, for the host and for the experience, but you're a part of the experience as the keynote speaker. And what you will offer up to them has to be something that is most valuable. And it has to be something that catches their attention, catches their eye. And the signature story formula is one of those techniques that speakers use in order to get invited back time and time again. Number two, open with a hook, not a hello. Have you ever been in the audience where there was someone on the stage and you kind of understood or discerned that they were nervous, and you could tell by the fact of how they actually started the keynote or how they started the address? The first thing that they would do would say, "Hello, and my name is," and they would kind of stumble or stammer. One of the worst things you could do as a technique as a public speaker to show that you are nervous or to show that you are ill-equipped or to show that you're not ready for that stage is to jump up there and the first thing you say is hello. You got to show that you are a master orator. You got to show that you are a master at speaking and crafting something that's about to be served up to the people that are valuable. Put in the chat, somebody, open with a hook. What does that mean? You got to grab the attention for the first 5 to 10 seconds. Grab the attention of your audience. How do you do that? You grab the attention with a question. You grab the attention of your audience with a bold statement or a bold claim, maybe a shocking statistic or a vivid scene. If you're a storyteller, you could use a story that will paint the picture of where you're going in your speech. One of the greatest speaking techniques of all time is if you step on the stage and before you greet anybody, you give them a statistic or you give them something bold and audacious, or you give them a vivid scene that captures their mind and their imagination. It locks your audience in immediately. That's right, Elaine. It grabs their attention within the first 5 to 10 seconds. If you do not grab their attention within the first 5 to 10 seconds, I am telling you now, you have lost your audience and you've probably lost your opportunity from being invited again. Ouch. Kenyon, you didn't come to play tonight. No, I didn't. I told you I came to pour. And if you're going to get to that next level, I came to train you up to that next level. If you have not mastered capturing your audience in the first 5 to 10 seconds, we've got work to do. Now, let's just be honest. It's okay. That is what we're here for. Put over in the chat if you're one of the ones that know, hey, I've got work to do in this area. The first 2 speaking techniques that you've gone over, I could stand a little practice. I could stand a little work. Put it in the chat. I've got work to do. I've got work to do. I love it. Lakeisha, she says, I've got work to do. It's okay. This is a no judgment zone. Lisa says, the second one, I've got some work to do. That's okay. The fact that you could be truthful means that you are ready for the next level. All right, let's go to the next speaking technique. One of my all-time favorite techniques that I use is the punchline first framework. Put it in your notes. The punchline first framework. And that simply means that you're delivering your key takeaway or your lesson before the explanation. This helps your audience to learn, to lean in and anticipate the value. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? So you're giving your audience something to look forward to by giving them the lesson first. You don't make them wait until the end or until the middle of your session to tell them exactly what you are about to teach them or what they should be walking away with. Case in point, how I opened up this webinar. What did I tell you? I told you everything that we're getting ready to go over. And now I'm taking the time over the next 20 minutes or so to really dive deep into what it is I told you that we're getting ready to go over. It's called the punchline first. I give you what we're going over. I give you the takeaway first, and then I go back and begin to explain everything that I told you we're getting ready to go over. That is one of the signature ways to keep the audience engaged and to walk them through the entire session that you have crafted and prepared for them without losing them. Do you have a good punchline? Do you have a good punchline? And are you able to present that well enough in the front of your message or in the front of your session before you begin to teach or before you begin to explain? All right. Let's go to the next. Let's go to the next. Let's see why is my screen pausing? We're gonna get this. Here we go. All right, going all the way back here. All right, we did punchline first. Next one here, put it in your chat. Put it in the chat for me. Call and response. Now, some of you guys are from the church. And so you know what I mean when I say call and response. All right. It's another way of saying participation. Audience participation keeps the energy alive and people connected. So you use phrases like repeat after me. You use phrases like say it with me. You use phrases like turn to your neighbor. That's what the people in the church say, right? Turn to your neighbor. Why do we say these types of things as speakers? Somebody put it in the chat for me. Why do you think that we use this technique when we are speaking? Keeps people engaged. What else? What else? I'm looking for a specific answer here. It keeps people engaged. All right. Lakeisha says to keep the audience's attention. All right. What else? What else? Builds agreement with your message. Yes, I love that, Lisa. I'm looking for one thing in particular. I wonder if anybody can tell me. Dr. Harper, she says it keeps them woke. Absolutely, it does. Alejandro, he says creating a bridge between the speaker and the audience. I love that. Yes, it does. It creates a connection for sure. It creates a connection for sure. Anybody else? Carla, she says introduction. Why am I going to ask people to repeat after me? Because, write this in your notes, it is one of the #1 teaching mechanisms that will help your audience remember what you're saying. Yes, Dr. Harper, you got it. It teaches them, or it allows your audience to retain what you just said. Why in the world do you think I keep asking you to put it over in the chat? Repeat after me, or say this out loud, or write it down. Those are call and response techniques. See, I'm already using it on you. Those are call and response techniques that allows for the human brain and the human mind to retain and to capture exactly what is being said. All right, another one. I told you we're going to teach tonight. Another one. I love this one, as a matter of fact. Tension relief pattern, AKA build and break. I'm trying to teach you how to be a top speaker and keep getting invited back time and time again. Lisa says, OMG, I homeschooled 25 years and taught my kids this way. Never thought to do it as a speaker tool. It's not hard. You've been doing these things all of your life. Some of you guys are in corporate. Some of you guys are educators. Some of you guys are ministers and pastors and preachers. You're already leaders. You're using these techniques. You just have to translate them over to your sessions and your speeches. Yeah, Jasmine, this is I would have to say this is my number one favorite technique, tension relief pattern. What is that? It is when you create emotional tension with a dramatic story or insight, then you break that tension with humor or relief. This rhythm holds the attention of the audience and it builds their trust at the same time. And so when you, for instance, tell a story while you're on the stage, you're building your case. You start your story here. Little Tommy woke up this morning and he had a pain in his head or on his head. And then when he went to the restroom, he didn't see what was happening, but the pain on his head increased. You see how I'm building the story and building the tension? But he didn't know what was causing the pain. Well, then he left and went downstairs and went to breakfast, sat at the table, and his head really began to pound at that moment. And his mother said, little Tommy, what is wrong? Why can't you keep your head up at the table for breakfast? And he says, Mom, my head is aching. It's hurting so bad, and I don't know why. And I feel like my head is about to burst, only to find out from his mom that he had left his hat on and his hat was too tight. I'm just giving you an example. Now, that's a very shabby example of building the case, building the story, and then breaking the tension, relieving the tension with something that is humorous or something that is dramatic. Janelle says, not little Tommy. Come on. If little Tommy, some of you guys know that joke. All right. So it's called the tension relief pattern, AKA build and break. Build and break. All right, so let's move quickly. We're going to talk about, those are the 5 techniques that I wanted to share with you that you can begin tonight putting over into your keynote speeches. That's going to make you an irresistible speaker. But let's talk a little bit about how to land gigs. So now you have some tools that you can put into your toolbox for your speeches when you're crafting them. We want stellar speeches that's going to get you invited time and time again. And we want those speeches, guess what, to be able to get you invited to other platforms and paid at the highest level. Now that you have those strategies, let's talk about how to land gigs. Now, some of you guys know this. Janelle says, do you train? I feel like I need more of this. Absolutely. I'll give you some information in just a moment. Let me get to how you land the gig. Some of you guys are in here because you've done all you can to craft your speech, but you don't have a stage to speak on that's going to pay you $15,000 just for 45 minutes. Is there anybody in the room that has gotten paid $15,000 or above other than myself? Put it in the chat. If you want to get paid $15,000, $10,000 or above just to speak on a stage for 30, 45 minutes, put it in the chat. I see you, Lisa. All right. Here's my first strategy, podcast funneling. We're talking about how do you land gigs? Now, some of you guys know this strategy already, but some of you guys do not know this strategy. So we're going to go over it really quick. Podcast funneling is the strategy of appearing as a guest on targeted podcasts to build authority. You share your signature message or story, that one of those formulas that we just talked about. You share that signature story on the podcast, and you direct listeners to your offer or speaker page while you are on that podcast. Many decision makers, listen very closely, many decision makers and event organizers listen to podcasts in their industry. All right. They listen to podcasts in their industry. When they hear your compelling story and your confident delivery, this is like your audition. When they see that, when they hear that, they often reach out to book you for paid engagements. Podcasts are like those free stages that funnels your interest and your leads and your bookings right to your inbox. How many of you guys are doing what I call a podcast marathon right now? That means you are getting on as many podcasts within your niche as humanly possible for your schedule. How many of you guys right now can say, I'm doing a podcast marathon? Put it over in the chat. If you are doing a podcast marathon, say I'm doing it. How many of you guys, if you are doing a podcast marathon, how many of you guys have been able to successfully leverage your signature story, one of the techniques we've talked about, and in order to drive people to your inbox to get a paid service from you, or to invite you to their stage? To invite you into their stage. Rebecca, I see, she says me. Jay says I need to do more. I've been able to do that. Okay. How many of you guys would like to be able to do that? Let's say at least 5 times a week. You're on somebody's podcast. Kenyon, I don't have that much time. I don't have that much time. This is one of the strategies that helps you get noticed. All right. Now, I have information that I help with, give out to some of my other people that I train, where they can actually find these type of podcasts to be able to create their own marathon. I promise you, this is one of the surefire ways to get noticed for stages. What about the next one? Media PR placement. How many of you guys can truly say that you have been able to get PR placement for who you are, for your public speaking career? Some of you may not know fully what that is. Let's go over it. Media PR placement involves securing features, interviews, or articles in respected outlets like Forbes, Essence, Business Insider, or TV and radio shows. These placements, guys, instantly increase your visibility. It instantly increases your credibility, making event planners and corporate clients more confident in hiring you. You got to do the work to get some PR placement. If you've already got some, you've got to do the work to increase that placement the more. If you are looking for certain stages to be on, the right media exposure, guys, it acts as your third-party validation that you're not just a good speaker, right? But it shows that you are an expert voice that people can trust. That people can trust. All right. By the show of hands in the chat, let me know if anybody in the room is already signed to an agency or have bureau representation, or maybe you want to be signed to a speaker agency. This is one of the top 5 strategies that helps you land positions on stages that's going to pay you. That's going to pay you. Is going to pay you. Getting represented by a speaker, a bureau, or an agency, it means that you are listed among vetted professionals whom organizations and corporations and conferences go to when they book talent. Bureaus and agencies are actually, they handle your marketing. They negotiate your fees. Carla Gasson, she says, I want to be signed. Absolutely. They help you actually secure your gigs on your behalf. So all of the work is in their hands. Now, of course, you're not going to give an agency all of that autonomy. Of course, you want to have your own credibility and power over your career as a speaker. But having an agent, a speaker agent, or being signed to a bureau is one of those things that really helps you be able to start landing those $10,000, $15,000, $25,000 gigs. Absolutely. Jasmine said, Coach Jasmine, she says you must be tight and right when you talk about getting signed. You've got to be trained. You've got to be ready to go. And you've got to impress them well enough in order for them to take you on to their roster. Now, when I worked with a management company, an agency out in LA, years ago, when I worked with them, that was our job, to represent the talent, to represent the artists, to represent the speakers. We didn't just take on anybody. Okay? We took on the best of the best, the creme de la creme, and you can be represented by these types of agencies as well. You've just got to make sure, that you are ready to go and you are appetizing to those agencies. Sydney, she knows what I'm talking about. She knows me way back when I was actually working with that management company out there in LA. All right, so agency and bureau representation, that's another strategy. All right, here we go. Coming down here to the next one. Turn every speaking engagement into a referral engine. I need you to pay close attention. Turn every speaking engagement into a referral engine. What do I mean by that? After you speak, it doesn't matter if this is a free event, if you've been paid a small amount, or whatever. It doesn't matter. If you are speaking, wherever you are speaking, after you are done speaking, you want to make sure that you ask the host or the organizer for 2 to 3 referrals to other event organizers or planners or leaders or conferences. How many times have you spoken on a virtual stage, on an in-person stage? How many times have you spoken on a podcast? How many times have you spoken at a summit and you failed to ask the host if they could refer you to 2 to 3 other event hosts? How many times? These are opportunities. You never know who is in your network. You never know who it is that you're dealing with. They may just be hosting this event, but they know someone else in the particular area that you are pursuing that can get you on the next stage. Charlene says, I never thought about that. These are small things that are actually big things if you implement them. These events, every time you speak, I want you to look at it as a door opener. I want you to look at every opportunity as a door opener. Never be afraid to walk through that door by asking for the next referral. You can't be too proud in this business. All right, somebody put it in the chat. I'm not too proud. I'm not too proud. I'm not too proud. You've got to be willing and ready to ask. And what does the Bible say for some of you who are Christians? Come on, the Bible says, what? Ask and it shall be given unto you. Sometimes hosts will only use you on their stage, but if you never ask them who they could refer you to, they'll never offer because they're not thinking like that. It takes you to do the asking. That's right. Charlene says you have not because you ask not. That's right. All right, we're coming down here to the end, guys. This is one of my all-time favorite strategies in order to book paying gigs. I have done this time and time again. Put this in your notes. Collect live feedback and referrals from your audience immediately after you speak. What do I mean by that? The moment you step off of stage, you're at your most influential. That is when the audience is most inspired by you, most connected to you and open. You got to learn how to leverage that energy in that moment by giving them an easy way to leave you feedback and testimonials. Build up your credibility, and then you've got to ask the audience if they have referrals as well. There's somebody in the audience. You never know who's there. My father used to say it all the time. He says, when you're teaching, training, speaking, guess what? You better be on top of it, and you better be able and ready to engage at the optimum. Why? Because you never know who's in that audience. I cannot tell you, Jay, how many times I have met my next open door and they were sitting in the audience. And just by me implementing this strategy that I'm talking about, I was able to find my next paying opportunity. How did I do that? I use software, I use systems that allowed me to be able to give a QR code. Come on, Sonia, to be able to give a link on the spot in that moment after I was done with my speech. And I would say something like this. Hey, if you were moved or transformed by today's session, if today's session touched you, if this moment helped you to be transformed in your mind, and you really want to leave a testimony, or you really want to be able to stay engaged with me, look up on that screen. I want you to scan that QR code, please, for me. I want you to go ahead and leave your testimonial right here, right now, in this moment. And then there's going to be another question right after that that says, if you know 2 or 3 speakers, 2 or 3 organizers or hosts that are hosts of other events that you would like to refer me to. I put my audience to work. Lisa says, so many say they've been touched, and I've never thought to ask for feedback or referrals. How many people have you possibly missed?
Right.
How many opportunities have you possibly missed that could have been paying ones? They could have paid for your travel, your lodging, your food, and paid you to step up on that stage, and you didn't ask them to refer you. I love it, Coach Jay. She says, always get receipts. All right. So I'm going to give you a system right now that you could use. I'm just going to throw this out here just because you guys are being so engaged and I love it. And I appreciate that. You could use a software called Metron. Metron. This particular software allows you to be able to create links, allows you to be able to create a questionnaire, very short. That's correct, Metron. You could use this actual software to create a small questionnaire, and you could send it out to the audience, real time, guys. And you could actually tell them, pull up the questionnaire. I'm going to give you about 2 minutes to answer just 3 questions for me. First question, what was your biggest takeaway? Second question they're going to answer, would you recommend me to speak somewhere else? Last question you're going to ask them, do you know of any organization, school, or event that could benefit from this talk that I gave this evening or this morning or whatever time of day it is? I have walked out of places with more than 20 new leads. And these are not cold leads. These are warm leads, guys, because you know somebody that knows them. And if you want to take it a step further, you would say, would you be willing to make the connection and introduce us? You just had your audience to work for you. You just worked for them for the last 30 to 45 minutes. Now you reversed it, and they are becoming your brand ambassadors. And they're helping you find your next stage. So here's a question I want to ask you. I want to ask you this. What happens when you land the gig? You do all of what I've just taught you tonight. You prepared to reach out to people. You set up your questionnaires. You went on a podcast marathon. You did all the things, and now you're getting bookings. People want to book you. What happens when you actually land the gig, but you're not ready for that next level of a stage? Can you truly say, and I want you to be honest in these last few minutes, can you truly say that you are ready to ask for $25,000 to come and speak for 45 minutes with the speech that you have right now? And again, this is no judgment zone. I was once there. Okay. It's okay. I had to do the work as well. I want you to answer that question honestly. That is the only way you can get to the next level. Are you truly ready for that type of stage? All right. I see the chat. Come on. Is your speech ready? Harvard Business Review in 2023, they said 74% of professionals say they don't have a go-to keynote or signature speech prepared when they are asked to speak. Can you truly say that you have a powerful pitch? Do you know what to say and how to say it in those emails in order to get somebody to trust you and say, I'm going to shove out $35,000 and have you come speak to my corporate team? Is your pitch powerful? Speaker Flow Industry Insights Report in 2022, they said only 8% of speakers say they feel very confident pitching themselves for paid gigs. What about your brand? Is your brand polished to the point where people will trust you? They will look over at your website. They will look over at your speaker bio, or what we call your speaker one sheet, or your abstract. Will they look at these things and say, wow, this guy, this woman is credible. I need them in here right now to speak at my conference? Put it in the chat. Is your brand polished? The Speaker Lab annual survey says nearly 70% of aspiring speakers don't have a professional speaker website, reel, a funnel, or a media kit. And if you believe that your brand is polished, can you tell me what percentage is your websites, your funnels, whatever it is that you have, has converted over into paid speaking gigs this year? Because if you are polished to that level, it should be converting. Does that make sense? Your speaker reel should be converting. Your website should be converting. Your media kit should be converting. And there are ways to do this. Glossophobia. Put that in your notes. What is that? That is the fear of public speaking. The fear of public speaking. It affects 77% of the population. What population? The global population. 77% of the global population, and 45% of professionals say they avoid large audience settings when they are actually asked to get up on that stage and to share. What do you do when you are not fully prepared? What happens? You lose opportunities. You lose money. Somebody put it in the chat. You lose money. This is the thing that I had to do when I got ready to leave my corporate position. I was leaving a very comfortable salary. Don't get it twisted. Don't get me wrong. I was being paid well. We were living well. That's not to brag. That's just to show you how much faith I had to use in order to step out to the next level and to prepare and to be serious about my speaker career. If I was going to step away from that cushy position, I was going to have to make sure that I could make money doing what I felt like God called me to do. I couldn't lose money, and I don't want you losing another dime. Somebody put that in the chat. Not another dime. Not another dime. The average entrepreneur, the average coach, or service-based business owner misses out on an estimated $25,000 to $75,000 per year by not leveraging paid speaking engagements to grow their brand, attract new clients, and increase their visibility. Not another dime. You will not lose another dime. So the speaking industry is a numbers game. It's a numbers game. The global public speaking industry right now is valued at over $40.2 billion annually. With corporations, with conferences, with organizations, they pay between $2,500 all the way up to $25,000. Some people, we are getting paid more. It depends on the stage. It depends on the event, their budget. But there are people, guys, actually getting paid $25,000 per speech. Not per quarter, per speech. I need you to do some math for me. Do some math for me. What happens if you land one paid speech a month? Just one. And your speaker fee is $25,000. You've done the work, you've built credibility, you've trained like a pro, you are ready. You are using that voice and that instrument God gave you. You're pitching right. Do some math for me. How much is that a year? Yeah. 300K, 300,000. Let me ask you this question. Would that be freedom for you? whatever your freedom is. Maybe you want to travel for the rest of your life. Maybe you want to retire your family or your spouse, or whatever that freedom is. Would that be freedom for you? Maybe you want to put on your own events, and you just need to be able to step away from that 9 to 5 long enough to be able to focus on getting premier events scheduled and produced and planned. You can't do that if you're stuck at a 9 to 5 or you're stuck behind a desk. Is that freedom? This is why somebody asked me, do you train? Absolutely, I do. This is why I teach the S.O.S framework. What does that mean? It means speak, own, and serve. It's my own signature framework that I literally teach in corporate settings. I literally teach in ministry settings. I have trained and coached leadership teams at churches and church organizations. Listen, I teach people how to speak and own and serve. What do I mean by that? I teach them how to speak by mastering their message inside of them. Some of the things we went over tonight, that's only the surface of what I go into to make sure that your speech is credible, valuable, and ready to go, so that when people hear it, they keep calling you back. And whatever your speaker fee is that you tell them, they are willing to pay for it because they trust in your message. It has been mastered. Janelle says my head is spinning. I'm sorry, but I wanted to make sure you got value out of today. I also teach how to own the stage. What do I mean by that? Building your authority and your command on the stage, but also off the stage. That means, how do you pitch to these companies and corporations? Let me ask a question really quick. Put it over in the chat. How many people have oh gosh, I'm about to sound real old. How many people have a Rolodex or a contact list, that's what I'll say, of over 100 different decision makers that you can pitch to tomorrow for your signature message or speech? If you crafted the right message, you could send out at least 100 different emails to decision makers in corporations, ministries. How many of you got? I'm at 100. 100. Can I be honest with you? I have at least 2,500 people in my Rolodex, in my contact list. Put that in the chat. 2,500 places right now that I can email and set up my next year. Lisa says, share the love. I'd love to. She says, share the love. But this is what I teach and this is what I train. I don't want you out there just pitching and not ready to send the right pitch. I also teach serve, solve real problems, and deliver transformation. What problem do you solve? What problem do you solve? And can you translate that in your speech in 30 minutes, in 45 minutes? Because if you can, you've just become one of the most valuable speakers in this speaker world. If you can translate your problem solving initiative or framework in 30 to 40 minutes or less, people will pay you to come and train their teams, their ministry teams, their corporate teams. People will pay you. What you see on the screen is only a fragment of the work that I've done over the years. I've had an opportunity to live in Atlanta. I'm from there, but also had an opportunity to live in LA before I moved to Dallas with my wife and kids. And what you see on the screen is just a corner, a fraction of what God has blessed me to be able to do. I teach talented actors. I teach speakers. I teach orators. I teach corporate leaders how to craft the right message and how to find the right stage to get on. Jake Short, right here in the upper, let's see, right-hand corner for me, right here where it says Mighty Med. I was able to coach him on how to speak and how to prepare for scenes, how to go into auditions and to speak in order to land the job. And can I tell you, he was one of the top Disney actors during the time of when I coached him. Dayton Malone, down here, the Nickelodeon Olivia show. He was a voice on the show. Every season he was a part of and got paid for it because he was able to coach with me or train with me. I've been in films. I've been on stages. I've coached certain people who are business owners and all of the above. Who is this guy? Destin Holmes down at the bottom. I've coached him. I want to be able to coach you. I want to become your coach. I'm going to be real with you tonight. I hope that this was most valuable to you, but nothing matters to me more than you leaving this webinar and being able to properly implement what I've taught, and for you to be able to be fully equipped and ready to go. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Can I keep it real? I want to be your coach. I want to make sure that you get to that next stage that's going to pay you $35,000. That's going to pay you $25,000. Here's what's going on. Now, you guys are actually getting something revealed to you that's literally, I think it's beautiful because it's the first time that I have ever put this out here. And I want to make sure that you get an opportunity to be a part of this if you want. It's called Speak on Stage. I just developed a school, guys, where I'm literally, I've been training and coaching over these years. I know what I'm talking about. Listen, but now I'm putting together a school, and I am putting together a place where a community of people can come together and train like they're a pro. What are we going to be doing in this particular school? We're going to be doing weekly trainings, lives. I'm going to be going live in the group. It's exclusive. It's not open to the public. You're going to be able to go back and replay those videos and those things that I teach you, strategies that I haven't even taught you yet today. What else? Live coaching. You're going to be able to come on the live with me and do Q&A and ask your questions, and I'm going to give you the answers right on the spot so that you can go out there and make this a viable business. I'm even going to invite you to Dallas, and I'm going to put you on an actual stage, and I'm going to coach you, and I'm going to make sure that you are ready to go. I'm even going to offer pitch templates to you so that you don't have to think about what you're going to write. I'm going to give you what works for me. How many of you guys could use that? The templates, the emails that I use that work for me. That's what you're going to get in this school. I'm not giving it to the general public. I'm giving it to people who are serious. What else? I'm going to be inviting industry guest speakers in. Remember I told you we were talking about PR and media. You need that. You need to go to the right people who actually know what they are doing and are actually getting results for their clients. I've got people in my Rolodex that I'm going to ask to come into my school and train my speakers on how to get PR placement. They're going to serve up opportunities for you to actually be on BET or to be on Forbes or to be on those type of platforms that you see your counterparts and your peers on. You know that should be you. That should be you on that screen. The school is called Speak on Stage. Speak on stage. S.O.S. Speak on stage. What else are you going to also get in this? You're going to be able to get support, private directories. I'm calling this space my speaker gym. You know how you go? You know how you go and you exercise in the gym to make sure your body is ready for the next level? You got to make sure that you're ready for the next level as a speaker. I want you to be a part of my speaker gym. Here's how you can be a part. If you want to be a part, just say, listen, I'm in. I'm in. Put it in the chat for me. I'm in. I'm in. Yes, yes, I apologize. I thought you were asking about the name of the school. It is the Global Leaders Roundtable. I'm in. I'm in. Nicole says I'm in. Carla Gasson says I'm in. Charlene says I'm in. Janelle, I'm in. I'm in. If you are serious, I want to coach you. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. I won't sugarcoat it. Shanta says I'm in. I'm in. What I've offered to you guys and what I'm going to be offering in this school year round, you will have unlimited access to the school, is at least $5,500 worth of value every year. That means somebody else is paying at least $5,500 a year to make sure they get this type of training. What I teach and what I share with my one-on-one clients, I charge right now at least $397 a month. That is the original cost. If you want to do a one-on-one with me, speaker coaching, you want me to show you how to pitch in email, you want me to give you software and things that I use, you're going to pay me $397 at least a month. I'm on retainer for me to do that. This is what I'm doing. This is why I said it's so special tonight. And I'm serious about this. That's why I wanted people in this room who are serious, who are not going to play, because I promise you, and I hope you can feel me, I do not play when it comes to this. God called me to this, and I know that there are people just like me who have a voice. You need to get on those stages. There's someone that is waiting for your voice, for your keynote speech, your signature story. You just got to know how to do it, and you got to know how to find them. I'm making this thing real easy, $97 a month. I'm going to discount it. $97 a month. And you can sign up and be a part of my school. I'm going to start it in August. It's because it's too many people that want my time. And to be honest with you, there's just not enough time on my schedule. But I can have a school. And I've been building this and preparing for this for years anyways. This is the moment. You will be the first class. Lisa says, shut up. I'm serious. $97 a month. And you can be a part of the school. You can ask questions. You can get trained unlimited. I'm going to be throwing in courses and dropping courses monthly. I'm going to be inviting my guest speaker, those industry speakers. They're going to be coming in and training you. Y'all going to be coming to Dallas. Yes, you are. Y'all going to be coming to Dallas and getting on the stage with me. I'm going to put you in front of people I know. I'm going to ask folks in the industry that I know who are decision makers to come sit in my trainings in person in Dallas. And I want you to hear my students. And that's going to be your audition. And they will have the opportunity to say whether or not they want to book you for their next event. I'm going to make this thing easy for you, $97 a month. How do you do it? Before I tell you how to do it, I'm going to make this thing even better for you. You're going to sign up for $97 a month today. And guess what? You're going to get access to the Speak on Stage School. But then because you stepped out on faith, I'm going to give you 20 fresh pre-qualified leads just to get you started. Lisa says, I'm going to cry. You should. I'm going to be honest with you, and I say this with humility. I cried when God said, put this together. Because I wish I had somebody who was ready and willing to take me by the hand all those years ago when I stepped off of my corporate job. It was scary. I didn't know where to go at first. I didn't know how to do this. It was hard knocks for me. But if I had to go through all of that to figure it out, just so that I can put this school together and make it easy for you, I promise you, I would do it all over again. I promise you that. Janelle, she says, my heart. I'm serious. No, listen, you're not stealing from me. I freely give. Freely give, the more that I'll receive. I truly believe in that. And the more that I give, I believe God will take care of me. And I believe that we're going to become one of the most premier speaker academies and speaker schools. You're going to start telling other folks, you need to be in this school. It's affordable, but you get what you pay for and more. And not only that, it's not just like these other speaker schools where they give you a bit of information and you go out there in the wilderness and you try to figure it out. You try to make fire from a burning bush. It's not like that. I'm literally going to put you on stages. I'm literally going to give you opportunities to level up and get in front of decision makers so that they can invite you in. $97 a month. You're gonna sign up today for that $97 deal a month. And guess what? You're gonna get the 20 fresh pre-qualified leads as well. I'm putting the timer up on the screen, 5 minutes. I'm gonna answer some questions because I've talked long enough, but that's how you join right there. It's below bit.ly/speak on stage. I want you to go there now. You're a part of the first cohort to be a part of this school. Grab your seat in the school now. And guess what? When you grab your seat, it's forever. You don't get kicked out. We're going to just keep giving you information and providing you the support, putting you on stages. For those of you, some of you know me. Some of you know me. You know, I also put on events. I want to put you on my stages as well. Yes, and pay you for it. This is the moment. Go ahead and sign up today, bit.ly/ all caps, speak on stage. For the last few minutes, maybe 4 minutes that's left, I'm going to answer a few questions, throw them over there in chat. Rebecca says, when do you meet? That's the beauty of this, Rebecca. This school is on demand. Now, I'm going to go live every Tuesday starting in August. I'm going to go live in the school and I'm going to teach and train on different areas to get you ready for the stage, but also to teach you how to book these opportunities. But you can always go back and catch the replay. It's on your time. That is the beauty of Speak on Stage School. Come on, throw those questions over there. While you guys are signing up, I'm answering questions. Almost 3 more minutes left, and you can join the academy. All right. Coach Jasmine says, y'all, as a business coach, this is a steal. I'm shocked. I want the best for you. I really do. I really do. I really do. Make sure, all right, come on, Lisa. Make sure that it is the correct link, bit.ly/speak on stage. Let me put it right here in the chat for you as well. bit.ly/speak on stage. There you go. You can copy and paste it. Any other questions? Come on, ask me questions. Maybe you have questions about what I presented to you tonight. Ask me questions. If we do the annual, does it take all of the money from us right now? It's cheaper if we do annual. Absolutely, it does. Yes, it takes it automatically, but it is cheaper if you do annual. There's a discount if you pay in full for the year. And then you'll just re-up for the new year as we bring in new material. Come on, put more questions in the chat if you got questions. I only have almost 2 more minutes and then I'm going to let you go. Rebecca says, so it takes, yes, it does. It takes the money right now, Rebecca. Jasmine, if you could, let's reach out to Lisa Schaefer. She says it's not letting her in. It's not letting her in. Who else is having issues? I want to make sure that you can get to the page to go ahead and make your opportunity secured. Okay, Nicole Shepherd as well. That's okay, Rebecca. You're okay. That's good. Ask me questions. Anybody else? Anybody else? Nicole, okay, we'll get the right link over to you immediately so that you can get this deal. Lisa, we'll get the link over to you. Lisa Schaefer. Who else? Any other questions? This is your moment, first of all, to be a part of something historic, because this is the first cohort that's coming into this school. I promise you, I will not keep this price. This price goes up because all of what I'm giving, it only makes sense. It only makes sense. Janelle says it worked for me. All right. It worked for me. It worked for her. Thank you, Janelle. Throw it over there in the chat. Here's the actual another link that you can click on in order to secure your spot as a student. We're starting in August. We're starting in August, and I'm ready to train you and help you. All right? Time is up. Time is up. Time is up. All right, guys, listen, I am so incredibly touched by the outcome. I hope that this was valuable to you this afternoon, this evening, or whatever time you're watching, whatever time zone you're watching from. I really pray that I get an opportunity to be able to coach you further and move you to the next level. We're going to hold hands. We're going to do this together as a community. Listen, you've got a voice. Alejandro, Chanel, Sydney, Nicole, Carla, Rebecca, you've got a voice. It is time. It is time to use it at that next level. And not only use it, but to be paid the value that you bring. Congratulations to all of you guys who will now be a part of the school. I'm so incredibly excited to be your coach and to be over there in the school with you. We are going to have some amazing moments, some amazing times. And not only that, but we're going to have some amazing testimonies as well. All right, we're going to the next level. If you're going to the next level with me, put it in the chat. Say next level, next level. If you're going to the next level, put it in the chat, next level. Next level. There it is. There it is. Thank you so much, Sydney. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. Hey, please, please, please throw me a testimonial, a short one, in my inbox on Facebook. Please do that. Throw me a testimonial. How was this valuable? Did this help you? Put it over there in my inbox on Facebook. Tonight, I would love to read and know how helpful this was. And if there's anything else that I could do to best serve you, I would love to be able to know how I can do that. Guys, thank you so much for your time. Welcome into all of those new students who are going to be a part of Speak on Stage. Until next time, I'm Kenyon R. Dudley, and I'm looking forward to the next level with you. Good night, good evening, good morning to you all. Have a great one.